And welcome back to the Crypto Hall program. We've got a crypto again, hash, H-A-S-H. We're going to go over this one again because this use case, nobody else on the planet has, and they have a patent on it. And that makes it powerful. Now, what I see is real estate tokenization. They're all going to want to copy this. I got my little notes here, my high-tech notes. We're going to go over hash. This, this right here, this could very well change tokenization of real estate. You know, all of this, we don't know how big this crypto will grow, but what I'm looking at here, it's very interesting. It solves the use case. This crypto solves a use case, and it has a patent on it, so nobody can copy what they're doing exactly like this. Let me show you the website, Provenance Blockchain. This is something where once crypto gets, like, you're not going to get rich tomorrow on this. I'm just letting you know. This is something where if you want to set it and then forget it, because this is a really good use case. But here is their website here, Proof Over Promises. Provenance Blockchain powers real financial outcomes. You got measurable, verifiable, and built to last. Our blockchain isn't just fast and secure. It's trusted for moving already billions in assets with precision and confidence. This blockchain has had over $42 billion in loan transactions. So this is real world. It's already happening. This is already happening. This crypto blockchain, listen to this. This one's pretty good. It has $26 billion in active loan total value locked. That's quite a bit. For a baby company. This is a tiny baby company, just letting you know. That's why it's still got a couple zeros in front of it. This Provenance blockchain, listen to this statistic here. This has almost 80% of the Web3 private credit market. That's damn near 100% of the private credit market, everybody. Little tiny company like this, that's how you're getting in, at a couple zeros before your number. It also has a stablecoin called YLDS. Right here. Now, I'm not going to click on it. That's for you guys to explore. What I'm doing today is we're going to go over the Provenance blockchain, specifically hash crypto. And we're going to see how this crypto very well could be the standard for securities lending. Mainly with real estate. It focuses, we're going to focus on the real estate portion of this. There's other crypto, blockchain, real estate blockchains out there, but it's not like this. So that's why we're going to focus on this one today. You got figure lending. The number one, this Provenance blockchain right here, if you're looking at their website, provenance.io. They have finance without the friction. Figure uses blockchain and AI. It's already AI, artificial intelligence is already being used in here. They don't need to integrate it in. It's already in it. Figure uses blockchain and AI to deliver a new standard in financial efficiency. Faster approvals, lower costs, and transparent access. You have a Figure HELOC, home equity line of credit. Get approval in 5 minutes. Funding in as few as 5 days. Borrow up to $750,000 and rates as low as 6.75 APR. Now, already, people getting HELOC home equity lines of credit, 253,000 households served with the Figures platform. I'm just kind of glancing through. You got debt consolidation, home improvement, small business, solar panels, education. Figure is the number one. I want you to hear this. This is just some random ass blockchain company. Figure is the number one non-bank HELOC lender in the United States. Ta-da! That's why we're going over this. This is a very interesting little company that I think has a lot of promise. I mean, they're already number one, giving out home equity lines of credit, and they're not even a bank yet. You can get a cash out. I'm reading here, unlock more financial possibilities with Figure. They have a program here called Figure. I'm looking at 9% APR yields. Man, that's pretty good. If you got like a lot of crypto money and you want to do this APR yield at almost 10% a year, that's pretty solid right there. You can get cash out refinance, DSCR refinance, a crypto-backed loan. Join our 253,000 happy customers. Okay, I'm just kind of looking through their website here. Then they have lending, markets, partnerships, lenders, brokers, and services. A broker. So this one, presented by Experian. So I'm going to let this go. You can see, I want you to look into this crypto. Like, this is a crypto that's already active. This is a crypto platform, a crypto technology. It's already in the banking world. Oh, did I mention the SEC already approved their stablecoin? Oh, man. This thing is good to go. Again, a baby company. I think that this technology and this company is setting a standard. So let me read my notes. My name is Crypto Hulk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. I don't know anything about crypto. I don't know anything about financial advice. Here is YSN. Thank you very much for the donation. Hulk, I completely forgot. I acquired Hash when you told us about it a while back. You have covered a boatload of good cryptos. We are without excuse. Yep. Corey Fisher has been working too much. So I don't know anything about crypto finances. I don't know anything about home loans, home equity lines of credit. I don't know shit. What I do know is about drug use, hardcore drug use. Heroin. I snort 10 metric tons of heroin every day. I pop 5,000 LSD tablets a day. I would not be the channel to trust at all because of the drug use. Okay. All right. Let's start here. Now, here's the article that started all this. The articulo. Let me do a copy paste. Right chair. Nuva Labs. They're working with Nuva Labs. This article is on the block. There's a company called Black Lake and then Nuva Labs. They're working together so they can tokenize, or they already did, $25 million in mortgage loans on Provenance. Now let's look a little deeper here. So you got Black Lake and Nuva, the token. Real world, this is involved with the Fannie Mae's and the banking and all that. This is fully legitimate crypto. This cryptocurrency we're talking about today has patents, has the SEC approval, and is actively involved in the real estate world. This is already a thing. This is already a thing, already approved. The SEC already approved their yield token they got going on. Like, this is already approved, done, already doing it, okay? This is because of the patents and etc. Black Lake and Nuva Labs have completed, that means already done, what the firms describe as the very first. We like first mover advantage on this program, Crypto Hulk. Keep it up. You're doing an awesome job, Crypto Hulk. This is the first on-chain minting and transfer of $25 million in institutional mortgage loans. What do we like on this channel? We like to be a first mover, and we like to be involved in institutional activity. That's where the big money is, not retail. Like shit that people like you and me do, that's called retail. I want to be involved in what the wholesalers, institutional people, that's where the flow of all the money is, okay? So they just did the very first on-chain minting and transfer of $25 million in institutional mortgage loans and they did this on the Provenance blockchain. First time, a patent pending verification model embedded in the transaction allows investors to, now here's what's different than every other crypto doing something anywhere remotely close to this. They have a patent pending. Nobody else does. They have a patent pending verification model embedded in the transaction. It allows investors to confirm every loan in a pool, including its assets, eligibility rules, and compliance status without accessing any borrower data. No other company has this. As we study this crypto, industry needs this. Why? Okay, I want to get into real estate finance, right? I buy into a pool. I'm going to buy into a pool in other crypto programs, not this one. You have to buy into a pool, but you don't know who all these little motherfuckers are in this pool, right? This one right here, you know who every single loan is. You don't access the borrower data. Certain things are private. See, these other places, they got pools, number one. So you can't look and examine each individual loan. That's number one. Number two, and if you can, on these other platforms, everybody's borrow information gets exposed. So you got no privacy. You got people that are in examining everybody's personal information. That shit needs to be private. That's why this crypto is different. It's patent pending. Nobody's doing anything like this. This is what the mortgage world needs, is this kind of a deal right here. Each individual loan in this pool is totally broken down and verified, and all the private information is kept secret. That's why this one is better than all the rest. That's why, in my opinion, this one looks like now globally, this particular one so far, this one's the standout. There's no competition in exactly what they're doing here. No competition at all with this. All right. a patent pending verification model that allows investors to confirm every loan in a pool, including its assets, eligibility rules, and compliance status, without accessing any borrower data. This is the first on-chain minting and transfer of $25 million in loans in institutional mortgage on the Providence blockchain. This brings originated mortgage credit into DeFi. We're taking loans, people's loans, putting them into DeFi, which is Web3. This is what we have, and it's private. You can break down every single loan. You can't do that anywhere else with privacy. That's why I like this particular project. All associated loan data is housed in a permissioned data room or a vault. Let's repeat this again. All associated loan data is housed in a permissioned data room. It's a vault that restricts third-party review to authorized partners only. The vault is designed to allow holders of originated mortgage credit to pledge as collateral, access on-chain liquidity, and retain ownership of the underlying loans throughout. It has a patent-pending verification framework. Each loan in the pool is present, meets eligibility criteria, and compliant. No other company can verify each property in a pool, and it can be done 24/7 like this. Oh, nice. Nice. The United States residential mortgage market is difficult. So here's what this crypto fixes. Nobody so far can do exactly what this company's doing because it has patents. And there's a problem. There's a problem in the mortgage world. This crypto fixes it. Here's what they fix. The United States residential mortgage market is difficult to access and finance. This crypto platform changes the game for the whole global market of real estate. Ta-da! I really believe this crypto is going to be the one that they use. Nuva Labs, where does Nuva come in? They provide software as a service, and then they tokenize, and then they manage assets. So, I have a mortgage loan, and I want it to get tokenized and people to make money off it. Let's say I'm a bank, whatever it is, okay? You go to Nuva Labs. They have a software as a service. So Nuva Labs, they act like Securitize. Okay, they're acting like T-Rise. T-Rise is a crypto that tokenizes on the Canton network. Canton's hooked up with a DTCC. And then you got Liquid Mercury, acts like the store. This is the same similar setup. In this case, you got mortgage loans. Companies want to make money off of loan. You know, like when you're paying off your mortgage, well, that money can be used to pay interest on loans. So what we got here, Nuva Labs provides software as a service to tokenize and manage assets. So that home equity mortgage, that's an asset, and then they tokenize it, and then they give loans on the loan. That's fucking brilliant right here. Now, Black Lake. What does Black Lake do? They service as the reporting agent and initial transfer agent. Nuva will also distribute power, connect tokenized mortgage credit to on-chain liquidity. So you've got an asset. Nuva Labs is the tokenizer. So it acts like the crypto rise, okay? And then Nuva acts like the liquid Mercury. It's like the storefront. It provides the liquidity on and off ramps and shit. It's the same fucking thing we went over. Canton, T-Rise, and Liquid Mercury. Those three, they're doing that for the DTCC. So what happens is Black Lake has real estate boarding, financing, trading at institutional scale. So they act like the storefront and get everything all hooked up so people can sign their name on the dotted line. Now, Provenance Blockchain is Cosmo SDK Layer 1. Let's look into this real quick. That's the Ripple Ethereum Virtual Machine sidechain. It's running on Ripple. So let's look into this real quick. My computer is just like having issues today. So there's your Cosmo. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, very strange. Computer's just like twirling. I can't get it to load this web page that I just gave you guys, so I'm gonna have to restart my computer after this show. So let me keep going here because my computer is just not working. So that's what it is. Provenance is the Cosmo SDK Layer 1. What happened is this. The Cosmo blockchain made an interoperable platform. And what Ripple did, Ripple got with a company called Persist, and they made Ethereum virtual machines. They made Ethereum virtual machines that hook on to the Ripple XRP ledger. So this Provenance is running on the XRP ledger. So let me look at this article here. Black Lake Digital Markets and Nuva Labs completed what both firms are calling the first minting and transfer. They established the technical and operational groundwork for bringing originated mortgage credit into decentralized finance. What we are witnessing right here is we are taking the traditional finance world and putting it into DeFi. That's how we get rich, everybody. This is like a baby step right here. You're able to get in on this crypto while it's still a baby because they're taking the world of finance with real estate and putting it into DeFi form. That's how this hash crypto ends up going from a penny to like $8. Eventually, it's going to take a little bit of time for all this to happen. That's why I said you're not going to be rich tomorrow on this one. So let's do a little deep dive here on this. And then I do have a price prediction at the end. So if you want to stick around to the end for the price prediction, I always like putting that at the end because that's the last thing that we're focusing on. We want to understand, what is this crypto? What are these banks? What are these finance? This is actually a non-bank. What are they doing? What problem will this crypto fix? Will this crypto change the world of mortgage securities lending? Yes, because it breaks what this provenance blockchain does. It makes it easy to get into real estate and then tokenize loans. You're not tokenizing real estate, you're tokenizing loans. So this is different. This is not like any other crypto project, okay? This is not proppy. We're doing totally different things here. Does it deal with the real estate? Yes, but it has nothing to do with what proppy's use case is. This is something where you're tokenizing the loans. We're not tokenizing property. We're tokenizing loans. These are short-term loans. This is like we're not buying property here. We are not buying property with this at all. These are DeFi loans where they're tokenizing mortgage contracts. So this is what they do in the finance world. They're not trying to buy properties. They're getting short-term loans through mortgage finances. So you got Black Lake and Nuva Labs. They have mortgage loan tokenization. That's what we're talking about here. Tokenizing mortgage loans. It's something that's rather new. You take a mortgage loan where no one's making money on it. I mean, you're paying off the loan, but now money that has been paid, this house is being paid off. This building is being paid off at a certain rate. Now, every house payment, every business mortgage payment each month is money that you could loan out. So they tokenize it. They're finding, like, this wasn't around years ago. Like, this is like they're finding ways to make money out of nothing, out of thin air. Okay, it's brilliant. Now, this crypto, the Provenance blockchain, here's what Grok says, marks a concrete step in institutional grade. Okay, this isn't for like people like you and me, the brokies and stuff. This is for institutional, okay? This is why I like this kind of a thing, because I've invested into this. I got a double portion of this hash. I invested in it like a month ago or whatever, went over it, a month or two, and then I bought in again on this one. This development marks a concrete step in institutional grade real world assets. Look, there's property. Think about this. There's property everywhere in the world. And this crypto here solves the problem. Now you can make money on every property all over the world using this particular platform eventually. They're unless that property is completely owned, but this is mortgage-based lending. So you got to be making a payment on something. That's where this one comes in. This development, this is what Grok is saying. This development marks a concrete step in institutional grade real-world asset tokenization of originated residential mortgage credit. Black Lake Digital Markets and Nuva Labs completed what they describe as the first, nobody else, the first end-to-end minting and transfer of 25 million in institutional loans on the Provenance blockchain. The loans are minted as NFTs with loan level data held in a permissioned data room and a patent pending verification framework, enabling on-chain attestation of eligibility and compliance without exposing borrower data. These are all very important that I'm talking about here because nobody's doing it. Not like this, okay? It's kind of like this. Where I live in Reno, there's a place called the Lucky Beaver. I'm advertising for free. They have great hamburgers. They cook it on this. I'm not going to describe the grill, but it's like fire and it's just different. Okay, everybody makes hamburgers. Everybody's probably in the future going to have mortgage tokenization. Okay. But at the Lucky Beaver, there's certain things that set it apart from every other hamburger place around the world. But one of the things is they got 50-day aged beef. Oh, it's just good. I usually get a double. I'll put just ketchup and make it a double with a slice of cheddar. Brilliant burger. Okay. It's a little on the pricey end, but again, you're having 50-day aged beef and they don't fry it. It's cooked over fire. Very interesting. Okay. Makes for a great burger. If you come to Reno, eat at the Lucky Beaver. All right. So that's what this is. This offers a service nobody else has. Okay. And it solves the problem, and the customer's data is kept private. They found a way to separate. If you want to look into this project and verify that every single loan is on the up and up, you're not buying into a big old pool of thousands and millions of mortgages. You're buying into a pool where each individual house is broken down and all the private stuff is kept private. It makes it real easy to verify everything. That's why this is not just a regular hamburger stand. Okay, the guy that started this, he's also one of the founders of SoFi. They built this to bring blockchain efficiencies to financial services. After observing institutional hesitation to be the first movers on public blockchain. What they've noticed is institutions were very hesitant about getting into the mortgage loan business to tokenize it because it's a fucking mess. It's a mess having to pluck out all the good shit. So what do? You just throw all these loans in a big old pool and hope to God nobody inspects them, and you just tokenize it. Then it can work. So that's why institutions don't really want to get into mortgage loan tokenization, because it's a fucking mess, okay? And it's risky. The use case here is the Hash Nuva Labs with Black Lake. They simplify it. They make it transparent. You can examine every single fucking mortgage in this thing, and it's all registered. The private parts are protected, and it just makes great business sense. And that's kind of like my take on it. The guy that started Nuva Labs, he has 20 years at BNY Mellon, Ripple partner. Black Lake Digital. It's a Minnesota LLC. Wonder if they gave any mortgage-backed tokenization loans to these Somali daycares. Oh my God, these fucking people. Provenance is a public, permissionless proof of stake layer 1, purpose-built for financial services and real-world assets. Its core use case at Provenance serves as a high-performance ledger, registry, and settlement layer for regulated or semi-regulated financial assets, particularly lending, mortgages, payments, and capital markets. Now, each loan that Provenance deals with is minted as an NFT. So it's not like it's a big pool where you throw in a bunch of everybody's mortgage loan in it. This one is individual as an NFT. That's different. Nobody's doing this. Each loan is minted as an NFT on Provenance with embedded policy, hash-locked attestation, and a verification toolkit. Investors can programmatically confirm presence, eligibility, and compliance on chain. You buy this NFT and everything is verified. And yeah, it's brilliant. Nobody's doing this. Nuva Labs, software as a service, asset data manager. They have something called the data room. They have something called Vault Manager. It handles minting, data management, and vault infrastructure. Nuva Finance provides the chain agnostic permission. You know why it's chain agnostic? Because it's running on the Ripple network, okay? It's chain agnostic because of Cosmo SDK with Ripple's Ethereum side chains they made with Persist. That's why this shit is chain agnostic. It has a permissionless vault layer for composability and yield. That means you earn yield, okay? They have yield access while preserving underlying ownership and control elements. Provenance is a Cosmo. Here's where the Ripple connection is. Provenance is a Cosmos SDK app chain with proof of stake consensus. I'm just cherry picking this. Nuva adds enterprise software as a service layers. They have a unified Connect interface with compliance rule encoding, real-time data room, vault operations. It's critical for credit assets where privacy and regulatory eligibility checks exist. So they're able to get these loans, tokenize them, keep the information private that needs to stay private. It's all patented. Nobody else can copy this. It makes it real easy for institutions to get in on making money with this. And we're dealing with a baby company here. Now, they have something called yields. YLDS. It's a yield-bearing stablecoin noted as the first of its kind with SEC registration elements. Let me show you this right here. I'm going to do a copy-paste. Right there. Yields, YLDS. I just put that in the top chat. YLDS is a yield-bearing stablecoin noted as first of a kind, everybody. Nobody else has this. That's why I like this Provenance blockchain hash. There's multiple things here that are either patented or the first time it's ever happened. And this is a baby company on top of that. I mean, this would be, if it was 5 cents or whatever it was, 10 cents, but this is a baby that has patented first-time things in the industry that's never happened before. And it's at under a penny. So that's why I'm interested in this one right here. Nuva Labs, they're mixed up with Animoca Brands. I want you to see this right here. This is massive right here. Animoca Brands is real big on NFTs, video gaming shit. I think Animoca could be in line to take over the Root Network. That's my belief. Don't know if it'll happen. If anybody takes over Root Network, then I would see Animoca Brands doing that. Now, Black Lake powers Texas Capital Bank's MAP platform, and we all know everything's bigger in Texas. Anchorage Digital provides the custody. Grok says this is a high credibility, professionally executed it's a milestone. Are you seeing this? First mover advantage in this crypto right here. Grok is calling this a professionally executed milestone that strengthens Providence' position as the leading. This is what Grok is saying. That Providence is the leading public layer one for financial real world assets, particularly in the mortgage and credit verticals, where it already has live origination volume. Grok says this is constructive signal. Real assets. This is real assets moving on chain with verifiable compliance tooling, not just wrapped representations. Now, other cryptos that do something similar to this, they're wrapped. It's not as native as this. The other ones that do similar things like this, they're not doing milestone. First ever this, first ever that, patented this. They're not doing it. That's why this one is better. Now, Centrifuge is a crypto that I own. It's the number 2 crypto on my phone. But Centrifuge is doing tokenized real estate-backed bridge loans. Now the ones Centrifuge were doing are more pooled. So what separates the hash is that they're individual NFTs done for each, and all the information is in a data storage center for only certain people can see, and the information's protected. So even though Centrifuge is a bigger crypto and all that, it's not doing what Hash is doing. Hash is something that's very unique, but it's similar. Like there's a lot of hamburger places, but there's only one Lucky Beaver, okay? Okay, what makes this right here different than all the rest? This is per Grok. It is positioned as the first end-to-end on-chain minting and transfer of originated institutional residential mortgage loans as individual NFTs on the Providence blockchain. It's also combined with a patent-pending policy, hash-locked attestation verification toolkit, allowing investors to confirm eligibility and compliance on chain without accessing borrower data. Nobody else is doing this, okay? Let me copy this paragraph here for you. So when crypto takes off, that's when you start getting rich off this one. Not tomorrow, not next week. This is a crypto where you buy it when it's cheap. Buy low and sell high, baby. So this crypto here, Hash, builds directly on Providence's existing mortgage credit leadership, but it extends to the whole loan originated mortgages with this enhanced transparency layer. On this specific platform, it is the first for this asset type and structure. Now, let's take a look at the price. Crypto Hulk, what could the price be on this? It's not going to be $1 million of crypto. Most of this stuff, a lot of these cryptos, you guys, you'll see, they'll be like 10 to 20 bucks, somewhere in that range. Most likely, what's going to happen is companies are going to collaborate with Providence. I asked Grok, could other companies collaborate because it's cheaper? It's cheaper to work with Providence because then a company has to go reinvent the wheel. I asked Grok, is it most likely that this Providence chain is going to collaborate with others? And Grok said yes. This is one of the strongest arguments for broader adoption. Explicit Design is a full life cycle solution for tokenization management. Other mortgage originators like banks, lenders, and fintechs can integrate rather than build. So what they're most likely going to do is this could be the standard. This is what I believe. This Providence so far looks like it's going to be the standard for the mortgage securities lending industry. Because nobody's doing what they're doing here. Each individual property is tokenized with NFTs and verified in privacy layers, patent pending process. Nobody has this. So this is like the first. And once we get crypto laws, once we get DeFi going, then this crypto can rip. It's designed for DeFi. We're not at DeFi yet. And if we are, we're at the very, very beginning, but we don't even have any laws. So these mortgage companies and all this stuff, they're not getting involved in some shit when we don't have laws and regulations yet. That's why this thing is still under a penny. All right. So when it takes off, that's why I'm ready. I tell you guys, get ready ahead of time. What some of you do is try to wait till it happens, and then it's too late. You miss out. You guys tried that. You tried getting in on the Rise token. And that shit went from $3,300 for $1 million to like $25,000. You fucked up, okay? What you have to do is be prepared, and then guess what? You have to wait. Crypto Hulk, I can't wait. I got bills to pay. Then I don't know. I can't help you. You shouldn't have bills. You shouldn't have got the bills in the first place then. You fucked up. All right. Let's look at how much could this be worth. Here are, Grok says, here are the speculative. Now we're speculating here. And again, this is Grok. This isn't God. Nobody knows exactly where these prices are going to be. So we're going to guess. We're going to guess and use AI, which doesn't mean anything at all. That's why I'm saving this all the way to the end. And as far as prices, we're only going to probably talk about price for about 2-3 minutes, and that's it. Now, let's look at a low price. A low price in about 2 to 3 years will be about 12 cents, okay? A middle price would be about $1. And the higher price could be about 8 to 12 bucks, okay? 8 to 12 bucks. Now, how are we going to get 8 to 12 bucks? It's when Providence blockchain, Nuva Labs becomes, if it becomes the standard, like right now, it's looking like it could be. And I'm saying the word could be. We don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. Zoltar does. He's on my desk, but he's asleep right now. He was snorting crank all night, and he's crashing right now. It's wearing off. If Providence and if Nuva becomes the de facto public chain standard, if it becomes the standard, which is looking pretty good so far, tokenized real estate and credit globally. So if it's, global, and if trillions in real estate related assets settle on chain, the verification framework, the vaults, and compliance tools are wildly adopted. Network effects compound in liquidity. Investors cluster in on this. If hash captures meaningful economic activity through fees and staking, the scenario assumes near perfect execution, broad regulatory harmonization. We got to have crypto laws, and Providence winning a disproportionate share of the global opportunity. You're looking at around 8 to 12 bucks. So that is where this could go. So if you put in $1,000, you're looking at, you could potentially make $800,000 to $1.2 million if all this happens in 2 to 3 years. So I don't pick the timelines. I just show you what happens if things work out, and that's what Grok is showing. So there we are with that. Let me click out of it. We've already shown you their website. So Providence Pulse. Okay, here's the Providence Pulse. If you want to look at that too to see if you're interested in this particular blockchain. So what you do, if the way that I got this, I went to Kraken to get osmosis. Now you could probably go to Caleb Brown and do that, but I don't have money on Caleb Brown right now. But I just wanted to snatch this up last night quick. I didn't want to have to send a wire transfer. So what I did is I went to Kraken and I bought osmosis. Then I went to the Kepler wallet, Kepler, got my osmosis receiving address went to Kraken, put in my Osmosis receiving address, sent like 10 10 Osmosis tokens to my Kepler wallet. They landed in my Kepler wallet, all 10. So then I, boom, sent the rest. Once inside my Kepler wallet, I transferred that into hash. The Osmosis got transferred into hash, and there you go. I think I had to do it in 3,000 increments, something like that. Because if you try to do it all at once, if you put in like $500 or something, it won't do all at once. Osmosis has a low liquidity. So you got to put in like a third or a quarter and just do it a couple times. And there you go. So I think we'll wrap it up with that. What we just went over today, in case you just came in, is the future of finance. What we got going is DeFi. We've been waiting for DeFi for all these years. That's the end game. The end game is DeFi, decentralized finance, Web3. But how do we get there? Our government has to make the laws. It's that simple. Government has to allow, through lawmaking, institutions to get involved in. Nobody can get involved in anything crypto because Democrats have everything locked up. It's true. Don't get butthurt. It's the facts. The Republicans, they're all voting for crypto. It's always the Democrats who are not voting for any crypto bills. So I know what party's not the problem with that. Look, both parties got problems. I'm talking about crypto here. There's certain people, Democrats, that are not voting for crypto bills. So anyhow, when do we get rich? When the Democrats decide to vote on this shit. That's when it happens. Now, what we got going on here with Provenance is they're already doing what we want to do. Lending, staking, they have a stablecoin yield, all that stuff. They're already doing this. It already has SEC approval for their staking that they have. Already done. You could, I believe if you're institutional, go in and start up an account and do all this. So some of you guys that watch my show run corporations, you could automatically start doing this. Okay. You can earn your yield. You put in 100,000, 200,000 bucks. I think I was showing like 10% a year on some of these. So yeah, it's not a little bad number right there. But anyhow, that's why I gave you the websites. You can look it up yourself. And with that, I'm out of here and I'll see you on the next one.